Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Burning Questions podcast here on Fantasy Football Scout. It is finally about to be the end of Double Gameweek 24. We finally have the Merseyside derby tonight in Everton versus Liverpool, which feels like the biggest game of the FPL season so far. As usual, we are back, and since we recorded last time, we now have the confirmation of the double in Game Week 25 for Aston Villa and for Liverpool as well. So we'll be discussing that. We'll be discussing whether you should go to these players or you should be looking to go straight to players who help you out in Game Week 29 with the blank as well. Before we do all of that, Tom, how are we doing?
Very good, thanks, Harry. Good that it's finally here, the Merseyside derby.
I know.
It feels like we're losing soldiers as we go, though, with Trent. Everyone's being knocked down. The week I sell Van Dijk to Trent. Yeah, that's just luck. I think we'll be lucky if we get a start tonight, but hopefully he's on the bench and he's fit. I just look in the chat. We should say there's a few tech issues because I'm hosting, even though Harry's speaking.
My stream set up for these streams died about an hour before the stream, so I had to send everything to Tom for him to then host it, but I am talking and Tom is clicking the button. So if anything is not quite as it should be, that is why. Hopefully we'll be back as per normal next week.
Yeah, just in the let us know about the sound in the chat.
The camera's disappeared, but I'm like 5 seconds behind.
Okay, nothing's changed on my screen. What happens if I go to another slide? I mean, nothing.
Oh, we're back.
Oh, okay. I don't know why the camera's just dropped out.
Did you flick off Zoom?
Possibly, briefly.
Yeah, if Zoom's not up, it won't show. Oh, it's gone again. And now it's back. Yeah.
Okay, Okay, I'll leave the screen as is now.
Cool. Anyway, yeah, we're not going to review how we've got on because we did all of that last week. Of course, we've all got players to play tonight. I've got Salah triple captain. I've got Pickford. I've got Mikalenko, Trent, and Gakpo. And you've got assistant manager on Arnie Slot being the main difference for the two of us. How are you feeling about it now that it's finally here?
This has the potential to blow up in my face, but I am quietly confident Liverpool will win, especially after Sunday, sorry. I think there'll be a bit of a reaction. Yeah, it's going to be big though. Like you were saying before that people's view of this chip is going to be decided tonight, basically. Because if Moyes wins, it's going to be, the most powerful chip ever. There's going to be 32 points for Moyes or something.
Yeah,
And then I think there'll be lots of love for Emery. But if Slot wins, it'll be, safety won the day. And now Slot has a double and, it's a guaranteed 10 points. So we'll have to see. What do you think? What would you put money on right now?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if Everton get anything tonight, people will look at the chip as really powerful from a table bonus point of view. But if they don't and they get easily beaten, it will look like safety is the right option and it will change the way people want to play 25 because it will suddenly make Slot look a lot more appealing. But if Moyes does anything, it will suddenly make Unai Emery look a lot more appealing. So I do think there'll be a lot of changes in opinion depending on what happens tonight. I'm hopeful it's really difficult to work out what I want, particularly because I don't have the assistant manager. And then for you as assistant manager, like you want Liverpool to win, but you don't want Salah to be the one who does it. Or you don't want Gakpo to be the one who does it as well. So like, is a Liverpool win, but if it's Gakpo and Salah doing the points, like, is that good for you? And is it good for me if like Salah just gets an assist, but Liverpool win? Like, it's really difficult to work out exactly what I want. Yeah. I would say
the EO is low though, we should say though, because like, for example, for me, Moyes is only 10%. So I still benefit off a Pickford clean sheet, for example. It's more mini leagues that the swings will be massive, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so like if, let's say the game ended 0-0, like is that good for my rank? Because I don't own Moyes, but I do own double Everton defence, so it probably is good for your rank, yeah. But then, like if it's 1-1, then it's not as good. So it's a weird place. It's a weird place to be in.
I mean, you can Salah hat-trick and you're absolutely laughing.
I just want Salah or Gakpo to do something tonight, and I'll be happy. I feel like I've got a lot of players tonight.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it. It's one of these days where it will be big swings all round, but you're basically covered whatever. Unless it's a 1-1 with silly goal scorers, but then no one's happy.
That's not great for anyone, really.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Yeah. I'm pretty covered. Yeah. Just it's anything for Salah. Like even if it's an assist, which will take him to 20 points for the triple captain, would make him higher than, of course, the Haaland in game week 2, much higher than the Haaland in game week 8 or whenever it was against Southampton. So,
we'll need. I mean, it's going to be Isak probably that most people use it on. That's what 4 goals.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're pretty covered there.
Yeah, much better to play it on a midfielder, I think, if you can.
Yeah. Anyway, should we cover off Havertz just briefly because people are talking about it?
Yes. So Kai Havertz looks like he's picked up an injury, and it is being reported that it will rule him out for the season. Martinelli also out apparently until the end of February. Bukayo Saka also out for a similar amount of time still. So that means for the next month or so, it's probably we think Sterling, Trossard, Nwaneri is the most likely front.
Won't it?
Yeah, it's all they've got available, and they've got to play 90 minutes every week.
Yeah, there was a bit of chat like, it's those 3 and then Tierney as a left winger, from what I could see. I mean, could you push like Odegaard false 9? Is there something there? Moreno false 9, maybe?
Yeah, because I mean, we've seen Sterling in an Arsenal shirt, we've seen Sterling in a Chelsea shirt, and doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence. And they've got Champions League coming up as well.
Yeah, just don't let him take penalties. Be my advice.
Yeah, because it could be in a position where they get everyone back, but it's too late. Like if they get someone decent enough in the Champions League, it's possible that they could crash out because they don't have anyone available. So yes, I would not be looking to buy any of them, but Nwaneri at 4.5 is interesting.
Yeah, he's the FPL question. Like, I guess the question would be, are you buying him above a Bournemouth?
No.
There you go. Simple as that.
Yeah, no.
But he is definitely the go-to 4.5. Like if you were on wildcard or something, and is there a case to buy him ahead of Rodgers because he plays in 29?
I wouldn't own him on wildcard, if I'm honest.
You wouldn't have him as your 5th mid. I think
No, because I feel like I think it's just going to be an issue at some point. Like I don't want to be using a transfer to I don't think his upside over the next 4 or 5 weeks is high enough to warrant going there. So I don't think there's any situation even on wildcard that I'd look to own him unless you were really strapped for cash. Because as soon as he's only really played right, he's played a little bit in the middle. But as soon as Saka's back, and that's an issue. And Saka is not that far away, like it's 4 or 5 game weeks. So I just think it's too much of a headache.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Personally.
All right, let's go on to the attack defense data. On screen now.
Yeah, just having a look. So Liverpool, best attack and continuing to get even better. Second best defense, but actually catching up with Arsenal now. It's almost identical for them. But I suppose the teams we're looking at, Villa, 9th for attack, but actually have not been great over the past 6. 6 for the best defense. Bournemouth, 3rd best attack, and then Bournemouth, 8th best defense. So those are the teams we're looking at. Villa are not we're all piling into Villa attack, but they're not ranked that highly.
No, I can tell you as a Rodgers owner, he's quite frustrating because he always scores in midweek. He's scoring against massive teams in the Champions League, and then you just cannot do it against Wolves or clubs like that. But yeah, it's piling in. I don't know. It's Rodgers and then Watkins if you want, isn't it? I've called on Isak to Watkins. We can. I don't know about you.
The issue is, right, let's say we get an update on Friday and Emery says Watkins has just done like a bit of training. We'll see how he is for the weekend, right? And that's realistically what we probably expect. Can you buy him?
Not for an Isak who's playing against Man City. That feels like a guaranteed goal. I don't know about you, but
the only situation I'd consider buying Watkins is if he came out and said, yeah, he's been training since Wednesday, fully good to go, looks great. And he's just not going to say that.
No.
So I just don't think we're going to get an update that makes Watkins an option.
No, unfortunately not. And I think for the other midfielders, we're probably a few weeks too early. Like, it wouldn't overly shock me if Rashford is an option in 2 weeks' time, but it's just a massive gamble now, isn't it?
Yeah, and like the other issue is if Watkins is ruled out, it makes Daniel Marlon pretty good because he should be playing up front. That's what happened the other day. But again, even if he says, "Oh, like Watkins is close, but this game might come too soon," you're still not buying Marlon either because the chances are that Watkins will then be back for Liverpool. So I just don't really see there being a scenario where you can buy anyone that's not Rodgers.
Yeah. And then, and then the question is Rodgers or Bournemouth, and that's hopefully what we'll answer in this stream with the upcoming graphics. Is there any other teams you want to cover before we do Villa and Bournemouth in depth? Maybe briefly Liverpool, because obviously they are doubling.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like most people have got triple Liverpool and they're just going to stick with what they've got.
Trent's the one. Like if he's not in the squad tonight, and it's sort of a bit iffy in the press conference,
I'd be surprised if he's not in the squad.
Yeah, I mean he's trained yesterday, so you'd think he's back for Wolves.
It looks like he's trained fully yesterday, so I'd be surprised if he doesn't make the squad. But
last time he was benched, he came on and got 2 assists. Just for,
very nice.
Just
we'll
for
take that.
Stats fans out there, yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, the other one is I saw some stuff. I think the Cop HQ, Spy on Cop, who was saying that he doesn't think Trent's going to start, was replying to a few people who are saying that Darwin is going to start tonight, which means Luis Diaz won't. If you had Luis Diaz, what does that mean? Now, if he doesn't start tonight, that means he's more likely to start Wolves, and then that means I'd probably keep him.
I don't know about that. Or is he now just not in the first choice team and he's not in the Premier League team? Like, you know?
Like, not being picked for a Merseyside derby doesn't feel great.
No, and he started against Plymouth, didn't he? And
But
Jota
so
will
did
be one step closer.
Yeah, Darwin was on the bench.
They said he was going to start, but his wife girlfriend had a kid.
Who, Darwin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
he was been out the country for a few days.
Interesting.
So I don't know who he would have started instead of. But it doesn't feel great to be Diaz right now. And a lot of Liverpool fans as well. Like, I saw that account you referenced. He's saying he wants Darwin to start for his energy. So, yeah, it feels a little bit uncertain.
But would you sell Diaz? Probably not, unless would you sell Diaz to get Slot?
I mean, if you could do Diaz to Cliver and then Moyes to Slot, it seems pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Would you sell Alisson to, let's say, Kepa, Moyes to Slot?
I don't think so because, I mean, if
it's close,
it's probably actually not close. If you think that Liverpool are going to beat Villa, then I guess you want the 10 points of Slot, and Alisson's not going to get 10 points. So, yeah, when you put it like that, it sounds quite tempting. It's just whether then is Kepa the best, or would you be tempted for Martinez?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go Martinez. Like, I'm not touching that Villa defence without Konza as well. Like, I don't even think they keep a clean sheet against Ipswich that reliably. So I don't think I'd buy them. I think I'd go for the long term. But I think it's interesting. Like, let's say Liverpool win tonight. I do think Slot will become really appealing, and people will consider going Moyes to Slot if they can get to it. Like, if they can sell a... Like, so it's which of the Liverpool players fall into the bracket that you could sell to buy Arne Slot?
It's any hint that Trent is not fit. It's not 100% fit. The narrative will spin that he's not going to start Wolves and Villa before Man City. But I mean, I speak as someone who sold Gakpo last week for Slot, so I guess I'd do that again. I don't particularly see.
Would you? Would you do it now? I understand you've gained a double from it, but
that's probably an extra bonus. Do you rate Emery higher than Moyes this week? Like, I wanted to avoid Moyes. Should I be thinking the same about Emery? I don't know.
I reckon Emery's a better pick than Moyes was. I think Villa's chance of beating. Yeah, they've not been great recently though.
True.
Yeah, I suppose the big question is which Liverpool player would you sell? Like, I've absolutely no intention of selling Gakpo to buy Slot. Didn't get in the squad for Plymouth Argyle. Is absolutely is pretty nailed at the moment. I have no plan on selling him. But if I owned, well, let's say Trent's fit, then you're probably not selling him. Alisson, Van Dijk, Konate, Diaz, the other ones that people own. It's close. It is close.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're hoping for that slot 20 pointer, which does come with clean sheets, but so therefore, do you actually want to sell the defender? That's the tricky thing.
Yeah, and I still stand by. So I didn't play it on Slot this week, partly because I want to play it on a manager that I don't want a triple up on. Because like if Liverpool double and I go Slot to Liverpool, is that realistically better than triple Liverpool and another manager? I still am not certain that it is. Like, yes, like Slot will outscore Van Dijk, Slot will outscore Alisson, but if Alisson gets one clean sheet and gets 7, 8, 9 points, and Slot gets like 2 wins and gets 18, 19, there's not actually that much in it. Like, it's a 10-point gain over a double, but it's the most powerful chip in the game, and you should be gaining at least that. Like, 10 points is good, but it's not like
it is a powerful
incredible
chip, but I would also say it's a very unpredictable chip, because to get powerful, you have to probably back like a crap team. That's the thing is, and you were speaking like before, it seems like you're waiting for like the perfect opportunity when you're saying I don't want to back that team, I don't want to back that team, but you might have to. That's the thing. If you want to get that 19 pointer, you have to back a rubbish team or wait for a perfect like Fulham Forest sort of thing.
Well, exactly. I don't think I could turn down a double this week, but Fulham at home to Forest is appealing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there was no double 25, that would be where every single person was going.
What now to Silver? Yeah.
Yeah. If there was no double, people wouldn't be keeping it on Arnie Slot. They'd be going Fulham at home to Forest. I think. Anyway, let's look at Aston Villa briefly.
Yes. Should I bring up the assets? Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, there are lots of assets that we could think about, but I think it's really difficult to know any of them that I'd actually want to own, apart from Rodgers. Is there anyone that you would consider buying this week?
Rodgers, yes. Other than that, not really. Like it's a double now, but you're basically paying for an extra Liverpool fixture and a blank in 29.
But
unless
we all bought Everton. It's the same. I suppose Everton's different because we bought them for 29 as well.
Yeah, that is different. But it's just like, if you know you're going to free hit in 29, then I guess there's more leeway to do it, because then you're looking at Palace, Brentford, Brighton as 3 games that are quite good. And Chelsea at home, to be honest, they're probably going to score in that.
But they're all right fixtures. They're not great.
But Villa are an all right team, so that sort of...
Yeah. I just really don't like the fixtures
so
that they've got coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any Villa, and I don't really have a route to any of them, so I'm naturally going to be more inclined to try and convince myself that I don't like it.
No, I think it's good reason not to like it, because it's like, what do you actually expect from the defenders? 7 points if they get a clean sheet against Ipswich.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I don't think I expect that. I have 2 clean sheets this season.
And most of them are injured, so it's really...
I know. If Konza's out, I'm definitely not buying. I'm definitely not convinced on the Villa defence.
Good set piece threat.
Disassi and Tyrone Mings at centre back, like with who at right back, because isn't Cash still injured?
Yeah, they Garcia,
and then like Luca Dean and Maatsen changing every 45 minutes at left back. Like, no.
Defence is an avoid, I think.
Yeah.
Attack, we sort of covered it, but it's Rodgers. I'm in the camp where I would get Rodgers over a Bournemouth player. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think I'd take the chance that it pays off and go Rodgers first. If it forces a hit, then later down the line, then no, I wouldn't. So it requires a bit of planning. But if it doesn't, then I would take the chance on Rodgers first.
Yeah.
Just on the defence, the only one I have a little bit of inclination for is Martinez.
Really?
Just goalkeepers with the double, just because if he's your second goalkeeper, then you don't have to worry about the blank. Whereas if you buy a Konza, you buy a Disasi, then it gives you an impact in game week 29. Whereas if you buy Martinez and you have a playing keeper in 29, it has less of an impact.
Yeah, so that would be like if you have Pickford.
Yeah, and after if you're not going to wildcard straight after 29, Villa's fixtures get better, whereas Pickford's get really bad. Like they have Brighton away, Forest at home, Southampton away, potential double in 33, whereas Pickford's fixtures are really not very good. So Martinez is, if he was 4.5, I think he'd be really popular this week. But I just think
it's a luxury move, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you've maybe got 3 or 4 transfers, I guess, I don't mind it.
Then maybe.
Because Pickford, you probably think is going to concede to Palace this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just not enamored. I think we're trying to force this a little bit when it's not a lot to force, you know?
Yeah.
It's a poor double.
Yeah. If you were in the camp where you're free hitting in game week 29, what would you do then? Would you actually be more inclined to buy a couple of them?
I would do Wood to Watkins if I had money, if I was free hitting. Because you can get Wood back for Ipswich in 29 and you miss City and Arsenal. I haven't said that. Man City, obviously Man City, but I wouldn't mind Wood to Watkins.
No, I think that's fair. Yeah, if I was free hitting 29, I'd be more inclined to buy. I mean, I would have said Konza, but
I bet they're the same. Like, I think if you were going to buy Konza, why would you not buy Disasi? Unless you think
we don't know
they're
how long
weak.
Konza's out for.
True, unless you think they're weaker, which I suppose.
And when Konza's back, we don't know who he's going to play with.
Yes, that's fair. Yeah.
Because it could be Konza Mings. It could be Konza at right back, Disasi and Mings.
Not Disasi right back. I'll tell you that for free.
No,
do not
it
do
would
that.
be Konza. It would be Konza right back. Konza's done that. But yeah.
What about Emery then? Like how it does seem like I know we maybe don't think they're going to beat Liverpool, but it does seem like a good opportunity because if I bring up Villa's home form,
very good. Just those of you in the chat, let us know if you've got the assistant manager active, who you're having it on in game week 25. Are there a lot of you going with a lot of you going with Unai Emery? And while you're at it, please do drop a like on the stream. There are 285 watching and only a handful of likes, so if you could, that would be great. Yeah, so looking at their home form, they lost to Palace. That was in the EFL Cup, though, the Carabao Cup. And the only other loss at home was to Arsenal, where they lost 2-0. They've beaten Everton, Wolves, Bayern Munich, drew with Man United, beat Bologna, drew with Bournemouth, drew with Palace in the league, drew with Juventus, beat Brentford, beat Man City, drew with Brighton, beat Leicester, beat West Ham, beat Celtic, beat Tottenham.
Yeah, it's good.
Their home form is good, but in the league, there's not much in there that you wouldn't expect them to get a result in. Some of the Champions League results, like beating Bayern, is great, right? But there aren't loads of results in there that you actually wouldn't back them to. Like, there's not that much surprise in there.
Yeah. I'm probably not considering this too much just because they haven't, as you said, there's no massive teams in there. And also,
no.
I don't know, like this is kind of a narrative thing. Like Liverpool's the best team as well. In the chat, everyone seems convinced by Emery or they're on Slot, basically. I think that's probably fair because you're hoping you get your 10 and then you're... Like, it wouldn't be overly shocking if it was a draw against Liverpool.
No, I don't think we would be overly shocked at all.
So...
I'd be shocked if they beat them. So the other thing is if we're ever going to get a point in the season where we get really lucky with this chip, it's going to be now. Because if Villa do beat Ipswich and let's say they beat Liverpool, we'll suddenly be in a position in game week 26 where Newcastle at home to Forest is table bonus. But in order for that game to be table bonus, it requires Villa to win both their games. So
And Newcastle
you could
to
be
lose,
in
presumably.
not beat City.
Not beat City.
So we could be in a position where you've got done really well with Unai Emery because he's won both games, and then as a result, you're also then presented with another really good game of Newcastle at home to Forest. The chances of these falling into place is low, but like you could this if we're going to get to a point in the season at the end of the season and we're going to go, yeah, I got 70 points for my assistant manager. This could be it.
Yeah. I mean, would you? But I suppose that flips back to you. Like, you're someone in the situation where you could potentially activate it. So is that tempting you to activate it?
I am really tempted to activate it because I just don't think there are other doubles later on in the season, but I don't think they're that great.
And you've got all
either.
your chip. You've got bench.
I played
boost,
triple captain this week.
free
Yeah.
hit. So you've potentially got 2 chips there. Yeah. If I were you, I'd probably play it. I think that's my feeling.
Like the predicted doubles at the moment, like Newcastle are predicted to play Chelsea and Ipswich at home in 36. Like that's fine, but I'm not sure I'll feel particularly enamoured by that once we get to game week 36. And neither of those are table bonus either. Ipswich, if that happened, would have Brentford at home, Newcastle away. Both of those would be table bonus, but like that doesn't fill me with loads of confidence either. So yeah, I just like to be in a position where I have more chips than people. Like I always play my chips late, and you have that little comfort blanket that you always have ground to be made because you've played less chips than people.
And the absolute worst case, right? You can just target 3 good managers and hopefully pick up 30 points.
Yes. Yeah.
Which that's no bad thing. I mean,
no.
And there may be a fixture, there may be a fixture where Liverpool are in the Champions League semi-finals. They've already won the league and they're playing against Fulham or something. They're playing against a team that you think could beat them with a second team, So there's definitely no harm in saving it.
Chelsea at home to Liverpool in game week 35, is that what you mean?
Something like that.
Chelsea at home to Liverpool, yeah.
There won't be any table bonus there. There won't be any table bonus there.
Chelsea fighting for top 5 because we've tanked it. Liverpool have already won the league. Liverpool have got a Champions League semi-final either side of game week 35. Here we go.
Go for it.
It would mean we're 6th at the time, so I don't know why I'm looking quite so happy about this.
No, but yeah, there might be a chance like that. But the other argument is just play what's in front of you, and you've got Emery with a half decent shot at table bonus, and then I know you don't like it, but there are some options in 26. I think Ipswich against Spurs is fine. Like, we have to see where Spurs are injury wise. I don't mind. I know you laugh. I don't mind Southampton against Brighton. I really don't. And Leicester Brentford, I mean, is another one, but these are quite low percentages.
Exactly.
It's tricky.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the other issue. Like, game week 26, I don't love any of the fixtures that much, but I am in a headspace where I'm looking for the perfect opportunity. Like, I'm looking for a Fulham at home to Forest, which is sadly this week, where you've got the actual favourite in the match plus table bonus.
Are you actually tempted to do that then? That could be a play, because if you think, like, the worst case, if you're convinced that Villa don't really have a chance, then you're kind of picking the table bonus fixture over Villa against Ipswich.
No, I would just go Villa if I was playing it this week.
Yeah.
But then in 27, there are some nice ones. Again, not loads of them have table bonus though. But like, you'd probably be on like Chelsea at home Southampton and just hope we score 5 goals.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It's just more as well committing transfers.
A Hail Mary on West Ham versus Arsenal without strikers.
I mean, West Ham were pretty good against us.
Yeah. Well, they didn't really come out their own box, but...
No, but
they're not going to do that at home. Is Arsenal away, is it? Yeah.
It's away at Arsenal.
So that's what they're going to set up for. I think a draw is probably a bit more likely.
Yeah. The other thing is committing too many transfers, and I know we're going a bit down a bit of a rabbit hole, but it's committing too many transfers. Like I've got to get through 29 here with transfers because I'm not going to free hit, and I'm committing 2 transfers to moving my manager.
Yes, that is.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like you're overly convinced by it, if I'm honest.
No, but then I'm not convinced now, but you're going to tell me when I get to game week 36, and if I play it then, I'm going to have loads of luxury transfers 3 weeks before the end of the season. Probably not then either. Right?
You might do if you've wildcarded and free hit quite close together.
Yeah.
You're quite good at rolling transfers.
Maybe to my own detriment this week. I could just do Ahmad to Rodgers, but I just don't think I'm going to do it. So
yeah,
I'm going to have no
I
Villa.
wouldn't do that.
No.
Because you've got Leicester in 29. Yeah.
Emery versus Chelsea in 26 is a good shout. It is. The only issue with it is it's not table bonus, and in order for it to be table bonus, Emery would have had to have done really badly in game week 25. So it's kind of a little bit like counterintuitive that if you go Emery in 26, if you go Emery for 25, 26, you're either not going to have table bonus in 26, or your assistant manager is going to have gone really badly in 25.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know at the moment. Part of me just wants to hold on to it, but I'm just going to get slapped with like 3 weeks of red arrows if I don't play it, basically.
You might not. That maybe, but you've got. Do you have Rodgers? No, you don't even have Rodgers. Do you?
I have Rodgers. Yeah. I mean, I that's fine. Like some weeks you've got to accept a red arrow.
You might go to 30k. That would be awful,
wouldn't it? But I'm almost destined to get a red arrow this week if I don't play a chip. But that's fine. Like these weeks happen.
But you'll make it up. Should we just wrap up the double, then talk Bournemouth?
Yes. Yeah.
So, top 3 Liverpool assets for those not on triple. Salah,
Gakpo, Slot probably.
Salah, Gakpo, Slot. Okay.
Then Trent. So it's probably Salah, Slot, Gakpo, Trent in that order.
So if you had 2, you would go Slot, would you?
Yes, I would. But just as much as I don't love the fixture for Villa, I don't love it for Liverpool away at Villa either.
I think the best team, Wolves Villa, I think that's pretty good. I like that. Yeah. I do like that.
I'm just trying to find a perfect scenario, and I'm not going to find it.
No, this is true. Yeah, I agree. I think Slot is, if you don't have 3, I think I would really, really consider going Slot over Emery if you can afford it.
Yeah.
And then Villa, if you were top 3, I guess would be Rodgers, Watkins, Disasi.
Yeah, I mean, Emery in there if you're including managers. Rodgers, Watkins. But if Watkins is a doubt, I'm not putting Watkins in there. So
it's pretty press conference dependent.
Like Martinez is probably second for me because I just don't want to pick anyone else.
Yeah. If
like
you
Rodgers.
Yeah.
Rodgers, Martinez, like Marlon.
Okay, and then if you were a bit sort of looking for a punt, like Rashford, Asensio, Marlon.
I'd go Marlon.
If Watkins is declared fit.
If Watkins is declared fit, then Watkins.
Okay.
Because I think Watkins will be a big enough punt. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, apologies for the lack of enthusiasm about this double, but it's
just especially with the blank in 29
as well. I think I was a bit tired really. Let's talk Bournemouth then. This is a bit more exciting. I'm going to be buying 1, so you can convince me. You can try and convince me in the next 10 minutes or so. On the screen for the podcast listeners, we have got... I'll just get rid of that. Yeah. We've got a comparison from Harry's channel, Kluivert, Semenyo and Dango. Points per 90, Kluivert is out on top. This is the last 6 game weeks. Kluivert is out on top, then Dango, then Semenyo. Kluivert is out on top for XGI per 90, so that does include penalties. Then Dango, then Semenyo. Points per 90 is Semenyo is higher than Dango. So I'm not sure how that works. No,
What's
that's
that?
expected points. Sorry, that's expected,
Expected
points.
points.
Per 90, yeah.
Yeah.
And then minutes, Semenyo is 90, Kluivert is 80, and Dango's 85.
Yeah.
So they're pretty similar, I'd say. I wouldn't say that minutes is a massive thing, would you?
No.
No, I think that
No,
risk
and
has gone.
And it is like pretty chop and changing every week. Like Kluivert's played 86 and 90 over the past couple.
The price is...
I do.
Dango's 5.1 now, he's gone up. Kluivert's as
Mm.
high as he's ever been, 4.9.
Yeah.
And just to mention it, because people are mentioning in the chat, Kluivert's partner is pregnant. Whatever that means, however much you care, that's a fact. So
Is that going to put you off buying Kluivert?
I don't think so. Although it would be one of those that, his partner's gone into labour at 10:30, so we
On
had
a
to
Saturday
pull out
morning.
the game. Yeah, it would just be like, and then Dango scores. But
Yeah. And it would be in like game week 29 as well, just as we need them for the blank.
yeah, I was red hot on Dango before, probably because he'd scored a hat-trick, was not helping with that. But the thing with me, right, is if I continue with my plan of getting Mbumo next week for Rodgers, then if I go Kluivert, I have to pick a budget manager. So it would have to be McKenna or Southampton at 0.5.
Okay.
So that's kind of my decision, slightly influenced by that.
Mm.
But blanket, money's no object. Kluivert's the best option. Do you think?
I do think. I mean, I did buy Kluivert. I did also buy Kluivert before the transfer window ended, so I didn't want to take any.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're all really good. I think Semenyo's going to start playing off the left a bit more, which I don't think is good for his goal threat. I think he scores more goals off the right. Dango is very good and very cheap, and he's not going to come out of the team until even when Evan Nielsen is back. Like, is Dango definitely going to come out of the team? We don't know. Like, they've been so good. So it will like, if they're really good for the next 4 weeks and then he comes back, he probably won't come out of the team. He probably won't ever come out of the team. He'll just not play out front. He'll play on the wing and it'll be David Brooks that comes out. So it's just that worry of something happening to Dango, like Evan Nielsen being back and
it's
changes
29.
everything
Yeah,
again.
that's the thing. If it was 27, you'd be fine. But it's kind of that time frame, like 5 to 6 weeks, is almost slap bang in 29. Do you think there's any case for Semenyo? Like, in my situation where I could get any, you think it's...
I think Semenyo falls into an unfortunate bracket. He's too close to Kluivert, and he's then more expensive than Dango.
He's also probably the worst finisher, do you think? Like
Yeah, this is it. And Mohit's saying it in the chat. He's definitely the worst finisher of the three. Or I don't know about Dango's finishing, to be honest. I feel like I can't comment too much on that. But yeah, he's definitely the worst finisher. If Kluivert puts that one in against Liverpool, we're not there's no debate. Like, we don't need to discuss it. I don't think. I think it's very obvious if Kluivert had scored that against Liverpool, that's the one everyone would be buying.
Didn't Dango miss a big chance as well? Or
I feel like it was so long ago. Wasn't on telly here, so I don't remember it. But yeah, I would buy Kluivert. He's the most reliable. And people said, well, he didn't play as many minutes earlier on in the season. I'm like, yeah, that's because he wasn't playing as well.
this is true.
Like, when a player is playing as well as he is, his minutes I expect to stay higher. Like, a player playing well will play more minutes than a player who's not playing well.
And he was resting the cup, so that's obviously Iriolo agrees with you.
Yeah. Semenyo being second in line on penalties, does that impact you?
Do we know he's second in line?
Took the pen at the weekend when Kluivert wasn't on the pitch.
Yeah, I suppose it probably wouldn't be Dango.
No.
But he also wasn't on the pitch. Was Tavernier? Has he taken? No, to be honest, not really, because I think Kluivert will be playing most minutes, so not really. No.
Yeah. I would buy Kluivert, but I bought Kluivert, so I'm a little bit biased.
Yeah. Yeah, I just need to decide if I'm happy to then I have to go McKenna, basically. With that. What about buying them over Rodgers? What do we think about that?
I'd go Rodgers. I mean, you could go a different manager, but it would require a hit, right?
Or in my personal situation,
Yeah.
yes. Well, yeah, it would mean I'd have to find money, or I just don't get Mbumo next week.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't remember exactly who's in your team, but there might be a situation where there is a hit that gets you the manager you want. That does also benefit your team as well, but we'll have to have a look at it in a minute.
Yeah. Anything else to cover off with Bournemouth? Just looking at the chat.
Kirkes and Howson.
Yeah, I'd go Howson now. It's 0.6 difference, is it?
It feels like the Robinson, Castagna, Anderson debate all over again.
But Kirkes' numbers are not actually that good. Am I right in saying that? He's very high, but in terms of like, I can't go off the stream, can I? I won't do that.
Yeah, I can get it. Like he's averaging only 0.1 XGI per 90, but his output is better.
Yeah, I mean, he scored a wonder goal at Newcastle, didn't he? I probably would go Howson, but you just said that. I went Castagna, so
Yeah, like it feels a little bit the same. Yeah, like
Who are people
it's
selling
with
to get these guys? Who are people selling now? If Trent's fit, if Trent is out, right? If he had a setback, it's the easiest move ever. Trent to Kirkes manager slot, right?
Is that out of interest? Is that better than Trent to Van Dijk and Emery manager?
Be an extra fixture, wouldn't it? But
extra fixture, but you lose a fixture in 29, so it's the same.
No, I do slot as well because I think Liverpool beat Villa, so
fine.
But yeah,
but I don't think Trent's going to be out.
No, I don't think he will either.
No, if you've got an Anthony Robinson, if you've got Lewis Hall, Hall. People are saying in the chat, if you're selling Lewis Hall away at City this week and a blank in 29, that's where you're going, right?
Yeah, easy. And
yeah,
dare we say Robinson? Would you?
Who have they got this week? Forest at home.
Yeah, Forest, and then.
I mean, if I had a spare transfer, I'd do it. But they play in 29, but it is Spurs.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got like 0.6, if you bought Robinson for a while and you've got loads of value tied up in him, maybe I wouldn't do it. But I think Kirkes outscores Robinson over the next few.
You're quite hot on Kirkes then. You think it's you should find the money.
I mean, if you're coming down from Trent, I mean, you've got all the money in the world, right? So it makes life very easy. So I would go Kirkes. If it's a Hall and it is really close in budget, then maybe. But it's difficult with a centre-back because it's really, like, underlying data is just less useful with a centre-back.
Because they just need a flick on, don't they? Like, it's a lottery, really, at corners.
They need one moment in 4 matches will suddenly make their data look really good if they get a header from like 2 yards out. Whereas Kirkes is more an accumulation of smaller chances.
Yeah.
So I would probably go Kirkes. I'd probably find the money for it. It might also depend if it's a third or a fourth defender. We're a bit on the fence here, but I'd go Kirkes, I think.
Yeah, that's all fair enough. Yeah, so that's more or less Bournemouth covered. I think we're both set that Kluivert is the best, with the caveat that I may go Dango to give me more flexibility. But what about if you own Kluivert? Is there any sort of scope for double ups? Like,
yeah,
in your situation, right, you could sell Ahmad. So let's bring up your team and tie that in. But if you were selling Ahmad, you had to sell Ahmad, for example. Would you be tempted for a double Bournemouth?
If Ahmad got injured, if Ahmad got injured this week, I'd buy Rodgers, right? But if Ahmad got injured next week, I probably would go Dango.
Yeah. So double's not the worst thing in the world.
No.
Okay, so for the podcast, Harry's team for 25, for the caveat that this is before Liverpool, Everton, and Trent is still a bit of a flag. So Pickford, Munoz, Gabriel, Trent, Palmer and Mbumo, Salah captain, Kluivert, Gakpo, Wood and Isak, with Ahmad, Mikalenko and Greaves on the bench. That team looks very good for the week, to be fair.
It looks very good, apart from it has no Villa and it has no manager or any chip. So it looks good, but it also looks like it's going to be a red arrow if I don't do anything about it. I just don't think I can buy any Villa. I just don't see a transfer in which I buy Villa.
I mean, it's Ahmad, isn't it? It's Ahmad, but then you're going to bench Chris Wood, right?
So it would be Ahmad to Rodgers in order to bench Chris Wood and lose a fixture for 29 and lose a transfer this week. So it's 2 transfers to bench Chris Wood this week for Rodgers, basically.
Yeah, it doesn't sound great.
And I mean, if you think in the chat that is a good move, please let me know. But I imagine everyone will say, yeah, you can't do that. So 2 transfers to play Rodgers over Chris Wood just doesn't feel like a good move. So it's then, I mean, I have the money for Fabianski to Martinez, but I don't think I'll do that anymore with the injuries. And then it's just Emery or not. If Trent's out, then I consider that, but I'm pretty confident he won't be a sell for 25.
Yeah, no, that all looks good. And Bumo, people have gone quiet on him. Do you still think he's like a must buy sort of thing for 29?
I don't think he's a must buy this week. I think Leicester next week is pretty nice. I think West Ham have been pretty solid, but yeah, I'm fine with it. Absolutely fine with him. He's a long-term hold for me now, but they weren't great against Spurs.
Yeah. And Palmer, people starting to get a little bit open to selling Palmer. Obviously, he's got Southampton, Leicester, so you're not doing it now, but come 20, like...
Yeah, if I want Haaland, Palmer may be the one who goes. Or if I want Foden for 29.30. But yeah, sounds like free hit 29 moves if I was to do the Rodgers move. Yeah, and I really don't want a free hit, so...
Yeah, I wouldn't really be doing that either. Before we go to my team... Sorry, go on.
Sorry, I also don't have that many blankers. So like free hit 29 doesn't make sense for my team. I only have 1 Newcastle. I only have 1 Palace. I've got triple Liverpool and I don't own Rodgers. So I own less. I only own 5 players at the moment who blank in 29. Okay, I also own Greaves, so 5.5. But like, I don't need to free hit 29.
No. I think the play there will be save it. Before we move on to my team, do give the stream a like if 400 of you watching, and do subscribe to the channel as well. Sorry, this episode has been slightly bitty because I am hosting, Harry's sort of speaking, but it can't be helped.
That's my fault. My stream broke an hour before we came on, but I appreciate you stepping in.
That's all good. So drop the stream a like if you've enjoyed it. Let us know how many doublers you're going to have in the chat. Mm-hmm. If you're not going Emery, it seems like most people are, but and obviously the Havertz injury, we reacted to that at the start of the stream. So rewind if you're just joining. My team is Pickford, Trent, Munoz, Gabriel, Salah captain, Palmer, Gordon, Rodgers, Wood, Visser. Forgot I own Visser. Isak, slot manager, and then Ahmad is the sort of first sub. The planned move is Gordon to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
I think that's quite straightforward, really. Wouldn't shock me if Gordon got something, but I think it's just a smart play. This screenshot was before the doubles were announced. Just realised that. But yeah, so 4 doublers, Salah, Trent, Rodgers and Slot. Pretty happy with that. Not going to get any more. Gordon to Kluivert is my probable move at this point. And there's not too much more to add, really.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out if there's a hit which gets you a better manager. It would be like Dunk to Greaves or something, wouldn't it?
There's only like 0.1 in that now, I think.
Yeah.
Dunk's gone down so much.
Munoz.
I can't sell Munoz.
His fixtures before the blank are pretty good.
No, he's my favourite player at the minute. You've got to have a player that's in the 94th minute in on goal. Like, that was unbelievable.
Right, yeah, I benched him this week.
That's brutal. He's so good. Like Munoz, he's so attacking.
Does Munoz to Howson not get you a better manager? I don't know who the 0.8 managers are that have a good fixture in 26, but...
The other thing is to keep Slot for City at home. If I think they're going to win, it's 10 points.
But then, hang on. So if you do Gordon to... Oh, it's because you're doing Rodgers to Mbeumo.
Yeah, sorry.
But
the
you wouldn't
planned
be
move
able,
in 26 is Rodgers to Mbeumo.
Fine, but you wouldn't be able to do that if you kept Slot.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
I mean, you do own Visa.
How much money? I don't know. Yeah, well, I just bought Visa. That may be a mistake, but I'm just kind of... I need something from him this week, really. Gordon... No, I could... No, I couldn't. No, you're right. I couldn't keep Slot and get Mbeumo. Do you think if Slot was to win all 4 games, right, including Everton, so he'll have 40 points, do you think that makes me more inclined to play safe and just keep Slot for Pep or something? Keep Slot against City?
I don't think it particularly impacts it, to be honest.
So you don't think you should just like bank the points and...
What, in 26?
Yeah.
I mean, what, Slot away at City? If you think Liverpool beat them, I think it's absolutely fine thing to do, but... If one of those games, like Newcastle Forest or like City against Liverpool or like Villa against Chelsea or something like that opens itself up for table bonus, I do think it's worth looking at. But would you
take Pep with table bonus over like
keeping Slot
over a cheapie?
Ipswich at home to Spurs. Or, I mean, I wouldn't want to back that City team if I'm honest. I watched them last night. I would pick McKenna over Pep.
Yeah.
If there's table bonus.
Well, I suppose there might not be actually. Spurs lose.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's as simple as that really. It will be Clivert probably in for Gordon and Mbeumo next week, and then just gamble a manager. Could blow up in my face.
Can you get McKenna?
What? Yeah, if I do Mbeumo, yeah.
Is that your favourite at the moment?
Over Southampton.
Sam's not going to be happy.
I know, she won't be. She won't be happy with that. She was very down on that idea. But I think objectively, like...
I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Spurs' injuries are like. If Romero
if they're
and
going
Van
into
de Ven
this,
were fit, I probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah. I don't think it's that bad. Would you prefer that over Southampton or Leicester?
Leicester, I'll be biased because I'm gonna have Mbeumo and Vissa, and I'm not gonna do that. But West Ham at Arsenal, no, I'm not tempted by that at all because I think that the way West Ham play, they'll be looking for a draw if it's anything to go on at Stamford Bridge. Southampton, it depends on Brighton's sort of midfield situation. Because Belieber came back and then they knocked us out the cup, so...
Yep.
It was quite different to the team that lost 7-0. But yeah, it probably McKenna would be the favoured table bonus there at this point.
Yeah.
It's not great, though. It's not great.
Or if Eddie Howe presents itself.
Yeah. What does that need?
It needs Liverpool to... Villa to win both their games and Newcastle not to beat City.
Yes, I don't want that to happen then, do I?
No.
I guess the only other move is Isak to Watkins that people are talking... Like, Isak, is he the most sold player this week? He's definitely in the top 3. So people are doing it. I guess we should briefly talk about that before we finish.
What, Isak to Watkins?
Yeah.
I mean, Isak has 100 and... No, Gordon is the most transferred out player, which is fair. Ahmad is second most.
So people are looking at Rodgers then, obviously.
Yeah. Luis Diaz has almost 90,000 transfers out.
If Watkins is declared fit, any temptation to do Isak to Watkins just because Isak blanks? You do gain a fixture? No? Did you say no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said no. Yeah.
He's going to score against City, isn't he?
Yeah. I can't not have Isak against that City defence.
No. I do. I actually think me selling Gordon has the potential to blow up as well. But
yeah, but I would do that transfer. He's also yellow flagged.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah, do you want to... Should we wrap it up there? I think we've covered off all the big questions.
I think so. I'm interested to see how Arsenal line up at the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't think they've got much choice, really, but...
Well, unless they come up with something.
Moreno false 9 or something, yeah.
Yeah, Gabriel up front.
He'd probably score more than Jackson. There you go. There's
and Havertz.
Yeah. Next week may look different because it's my birthday and Harry is away. So...
Yes, hopefully Andy can hold down the fort, but we'll have to let you all know.
Yep, that will be communicated. But yeah, that's it. Harry, good luck tonight. You've got...
And to you.
You've got foot in every camp tonight.
Yeah.
You're hoping for... Yeah, I mean, Salah triple captain probably takes precedence over everything, I guess. But
I don't know what actual outcome of the match that I want. I just need Salah and Gakpo points, and I don't really care what else happens.
Everton clean sheet you'd be in as well, for sure.
Yeah.
That'd be differential, but...
Yeah, but the Salah triple captain is also massive differential.
He's 210 at my rank.
Yeah.
Dude, that Pickford penalty save is going to hit well later.
But, like, is that bad for...
It's probably not. Well, no, because you're gaining loads of Pickford points.
Yeah, but I'm getting triple penalty misses.
I'm getting -2.
No, but I'm not.
You lose -6.
Yeah, but everyone else loses -4. So I'm losing -2 against the field, and I'll probably be gaining... It's probably pretty net even, to be honest.
Score the rebound and you're laughing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Hopefully someone will creep into the box.
No, I'm just praying for a slot win because it's going to hurt if Moyes gets 19 points, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for watching, everybody. Do subscribe. Scoutcast will be tonight on the full-time whistle of Liverpool-Everton. So get involved in that about 9:30 UK time, and then the usual Q&A and team news to come this week. Harry, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Best of luck in Game Week 25.